Many restaurants in Bengaluru are facing severe commercial gas crisis, and I'm here at one of the iconic restaurants in Bengaluru, a 1943 pre-independence iconic restaurant, Vidyarthi Bhavan, where they sell the best masala dosas in the whole city of Bengaluru. And joining me is Mr. Arun Adiga also, and behind me is the dosa tawa that you see. Because of the severe crisis that we are seeing of the commercial gas, of the 4 tawas, they only have 2 tawas running just to ensure that they have the maximum utilization of the available resources. Let me get in a word with Mr. Arun himself as to what is the exact situation right now, sir. Everyone knows Vidyarthi Bhavan in Bengaluru. Its iconic dosas have been favorite for decades now. What is the situation? Is it real crisis or is just fear-mongering among people?
We definitely believe it as a real crisis. Till we get a stock from our dealer, we believe it to be true. Because Sunday there is no supply. Yesterday was the first day of the week where we didn't get the usual supply. And by afternoon we came to know that there is no supply for commercial cylinders. So that is when the panic mode started with the hoteliers. So till now we don't have any word from the dealer. Dealer is dependent on the government agencies. He says the refilling stations are totally stopped. They have stopped giving to any commercial gas cylinder refilling. So if this being the case, we are all definitely concerned about this. How do we go forward?
And how much stock do you have as of now? And can this restaurant keep running? Because many restaurants said they might shut today. That's what the press conference spoke about also yesterday.
Exactly. See, when you look at the supply in Bangalore, there is only about 20% of supply that has happened in Bangalore yesterday for smaller hoteliers. None of the big hoteliers have got supply yesterday. And any hotel for that matter, they cannot stock these gas cylinders like we stock our other provisions. Other provisions, rice bags and all, we can stock it for weeks together, but not gas cylinder. It is a safety issue as well as we cannot legally keep it also. We can stock at the most for 1 or 2 days. So it depends on the consumption, so what we use per day. On an average, I use around 5 cylinders per day. So I can stock about another 5 cylinders, up to 10 to 12 cylinders. So as of now, I have only cylinders for today. If I do a restricted thing, I can go extend up to tomorrow afternoon. So by then, if I don't get any solution, eventually we may have to also close.
What the government is saying is that the industries might have to find some other alternative methods. What are the alternative methods that hotel like you can afford or even think of?
See, in the first place, we didn't face this kind of a situation anytime in our life. So we were assured of a continuous supply of LPG cylinders. And most of the hoteliers in Bangalore, and we don't even have piped gas in Central Business District of Bangalore, including our area. Only the newer areas of Bangalore have got piped GAIL connection where there is no issue of supply. When it comes to cylinders, we don't have any other alternates. We do have some small private players where they have only restricted supplies, and as of now we don't have any procurement from private players. The other alternative would be to go in for induction stoves. Yes. See, when it comes to South Indian food dishes, it's a big challenge to do everything from induction stove. There are new technologies that have come, but it takes time for us to build in those systems. It's just not off the hook, it's not plug and play. I just go procure one induction stove and start doing dosa by tomorrow. Because there is a lot of interconnected things that are required. Especially when you look at my dosa tawa. If I take an induction stove dosa tawa, it requires huge power requirement. I need to upgrade my input power. I need to apply for BESCOM. It takes days together. So going forward, I think we also need to plan accordingly and keep other alternate resources. But it just cannot happen overnight.
Is the Hotel Association trying to meet the central ministers? Have you put in a panic? Have you pressed the panic button? Have you sent messages to Delhi as of now?
The panic button is already pressed yesterday afternoon. We have sent in messages and email to the Central Petroleum Ministry seeking their intervention to step in and give us a resolution. Because just 3 days back, it was the Central Minister himself who had tweeted that there is no issue with the fuel. Yes. And government has enough stock for next 60 to 70 days. So we were assured of that. And if this happens suddenly overnight, we are all in for a shock. So it's just not the question of doing business. You have to look at the interconnected things that happens over this ecosystem in restaurant industry. lot of people, especially in urban cities like Bangalore, more than 60% are dependent on outside food. be it either in restaurant or cloud kitchens or even some mess kind of a setup. Everybody have to use commercial gas cylinders. And if government says they will stop supply of commercial and they will only prioritize domestic, where do we cook from? Where do these people dependent on these kind of outside food? Where do they go? Everyone cannot cook at home. It's just not if you this is at the looking at the customer angle. What about the procurement, the provision input? We procure from agriculturists. The huge chunk of milk is consumed by hotel industry. The huge chunk of vegetable produce is consumed by hotel industry. So if couple of days the restaurant industry is closed down, there is a ripple chain effect that would happen across the industries. I think government should definitely think about this and step in and give us a resolution.
Well, many such restaurants in Bangalore are facing the same situation that they don't have the commercial gas, and they're urging the central government to immediately step in and take some steps that can restore normalcy. Nagarjun Dwarkanath, India Today.